गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् महागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभिद्रियवतु वाग्देव्यै नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Let us take 5 deep breaths, taking in Shiva, exhaling Shakti. Shiva, Shakti. Shiva, Shakti. Shiva, Shakti. Shiva, Shakti. Shiva, Shakti. Today we are going to Shloka mantra number 26. विरिञ्चि पञ्चत्वम्
विरिञ्चि पञ्चत्वम्
प्रजति हरिराप्नोति विरतिम्
प्रजति हरिराप्नोति विरतिम्
विनाशं कीनाशो भजति
विनाशं कीनाशो भजति
धनदो याति निधनम्
धनदो याति निधनम्
Vitandri Mahendri
वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री
विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा
विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा
महासंहारेऽस्मिन् विहरति
महासंहारेऽस्मिन् विहरति
सति त्वत्पतिरसौ
सति त्वत्पतिरसौ
विरिञ्चि पञ्चत्वं व्रजति हरिराप्नोति विरतिम् विनाशं कीनाशो भजति धनदो याति निधनम् वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा महासंहारेऽस्मिन् विहरति सति त्वत्पतिरसौ. So in the second mantra, we studied how Virinchi, Brahma, takes just the speck of dust from her feet and creates the whole universe. And Vishnu, somehow, with the strength of 1,000 heads, he preserves. And Rudra, he annihilates the universe and he does the Bhasma Vidhi, which is he anoints the whole body with that Bhasma. That we saw. And then in number 24, we also studied how they all do their job, assigned job by Devi. And all the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, are absorbed, concealed by Isha. And all the four are again absorbed by Sadashiva. So he is stressing that point once again in shloka number 26, where he says, Virinchi Panchatvam Vrajati. Virinchi, Brahma, Panchatva. The material he uses to create this whole universe with multiplicity is out of 5 elements. That Vrajati, he gives up, he reduces those 5 elements. Harirapnoti viratim. Hari, that is Vishnu, with so much of passion, rati, with involvement, he is preserving the world. But he becomes virati. He retires. He loses the interest to preserve that anymore. So, Harirapnoti viratim. He retires. Vinasham kinasho bhajati. Kinasha means Yama. One who creates Nasha, that is the death. Kinasha, one who creates death is Kinasha. Vinasham bhajati. He himself becomes Vinasha. He is also facing the death. Dhanado yati nidhanam. Dhanado is Kubera, one who is well known for being the wealthiest in the whole universe. Dhanadha, one who has lots of wealth. He becomes Nidhana. That is without Dhana, which means another death. Vitandri, Mahendri, Vitatirapi, Sammilita Drisha. Many deities, gods, heavenly gods along with Indra, Vitatirapi Sammilita, they all close their eyes. They're all called animishas because nimisha means the time taken to close the eye and open. That is called nimisha. Because they don't close the eyes at all, they're always wide open. So the minute during the Mahapralaya, even all these deities, they close their eyes. That means they also face the end. Mahasamharesmin, in this Mahasamhara, Mahapralaya, Viharati Sati Tvatpatirasau. O Sati, Devi, O Sati, your Pati, husband, sportively Viharati, he just is hanging on with so much of ease, leisurely. He is there even during the Mahapralaya. See the way he has used the words to denote what is their duty, and once the duty is taken out from that person, how they lose their entity itself. Because what it says in summary, during Mahapralaya, it is only Sadashiva, that is the Pati, husband of Sati, is the only one who is sportively, casually, leisurely spending the time very much active, whereas Virinchi, he loses his entity as creator because he gives up the 5 elements. Hari is supposed to be Rati in keeping up, preserving the universe. That he gives up. Vinasham Kinasho Bhajati. The very cause of death, who is Yama, he himself is facing death. And then Dhanado Yati Nidhanam. Kubera, he is the wealthiest person, being. And that being loses all the wealth and he loses his entity as Kubera. Vitandri, Mahendri, Vitatirapi, they all, even though active, they all close their eyes, which is very much unheard of for animishas, that is devatas. Devatas are called animishas. So, what can we take from this? All the deities, when they are holding on to a status, they have the entity and they have the reverence and they are leading the whole universe in that aspect. So here what happens is, even though Shiva and Shakti are the eternal principles, it is they who have created the world through the universal mind, the second circle. But their product, which is that universe, is not eternal. It is dismantled at Mahapralaya time. How does it happen? Sadashiva is the principal tattva of Chetana, that is pure consciousness. Whereas Shakti is both Jada, inert, as well as Chetana. So during Mahapralaya, she absorbs back the Jadatva, the Tattva of Jada, into her Chetana. So she becomes pure Chetana. When the Chetana in Shakti has given up the Jadatva, which is Vishwa, she becomes one with Chetana, which is Shiva. So thus, there is just the pure consciousness which is left after Mahapralaya. Now, we should also understand it applies to us also. To give you one example, when the child goes to the play home, there the teacher will give that child the box of Lego pieces. It builds up a beautiful building, and the whole day it plays with that building which it has built. And as the time comes to go home, it dismantles all the things and keep it back in the box, and it will be waiting for the mom to come. So at that time, what is left after the whole game is done? Just the child staring at the box which has all the Lego pieces and the memory, vasana of what it had built, what are all the experiences it had gone through while building, while playing with it, and while dismantling it. With that memory, it will be just sitting. And then it goes home and sleeps. Again, it comes back in the morning and opens the box to play with the Lego. Same thing happens with the cosmos as well as the individuals as well. So like this, we have the practical examples. Only thing is we have to recognize it and connect it with what is actually happening in the cosmos. We can have our own examples, what we are going through as Ishvara, Shiva, as Shakti, and how we are maintaining our life. We come across such situations. And if we understand that all the deities are recognized because of the status of work, what they are holding, the responsibility. So, in the same way, as they give up their entity at the time of Mahapralaya, even we should be able to give up those acquired status, what we go through in life. For example, if I am a dancer, as long as I'm dancing, I can be called dancer. The minute I stop dancing, I become my own self. As long as mother is taking care of another person as her child, she can be called mother. The minute she stops that, she becomes just a human being. That is I. So like this, once we eat the food, when it is in the hand, it is food. The minute I eat it, the eating is done. The food becomes I. So I am just there. The food is in. What can we understand by this? All the acquired status are perishable. It is not permanent. It is not eternal. Whether you take it as career or as relationships or emotions, all are acquired on us. The only eternal thing is that real I, which I have carried on since so many janmas, and from the time the universe has started. It is only that I which never changes. That is the only eternal thing. So, when it can happen to the deities like Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Isha, Kubera, Indra, what about we Jivatmas? We have to take the lesson from that. So in 26, they all see the end as the deities, and they just become one with that Ishvara, who is nothing but pure consciousness, Sada Shiva. The phala for this is mandala on the form of Devi. Phala, all-round success, and success in all walks of life. जपो जल्पः शिल्पम्
जपो जल्पः शिल्पम्
सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना
सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना
गधे प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणम्
गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणम्
अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः
अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः
प्रणामः संवेशः
प्रणामः संवेशः
सुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा
सुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा
सपर्यापर्याय
सपर्यापर्याय
तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्
तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्
जपो जल्पः शिल्पम् सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना गति प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणम् अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः प्रणामः संवेशः सुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा सपर्यापर्यायस्तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम्. This is one of the favorite mantras for both Brahmajnanis as well as Ajnanis and also the sadhakas. Just like Bhavanitvam, how you all enjoyed, in the same way, even this mantra is the favorite of all. So I'm sure even you people will love it a lot once you know the depth of this mantra. Japo jalpaha. Babbling, murmuring. The words which I just speak is japa, is like japa to you. Shilpam sakalamapi mudra virachana. And all the hand gestures which I am doing, knowingly or unknowingly, all the hand gestures are the mudras which they use in Tantra worship. For Tantra people, the material what they use for the homa, yaga, yajna, for puja, it's all very, very important. For particular puja or homa, they use only silver or only copper or only gold or only glass. So like that, they will never touch the plastic or the steel. In the same way, the way they sit, the way they sleep, the way they comb their hair, everything counts when they are into the vratam of worshipping through Tantra Shastra. So they are very strict when it comes to the external puja. So the mudras, even that should be according to the Shastra. But here it says, Shilpam Sakalamapi Mudra Virachana. Let all my actions be the mudras used in Tantra. Gati Pradakshinya Kramanam. And wherever I am walking, each and every walk of mine, let it be Pradakshana to you. Ashanadhyahuti Vidihi. Ashana means eating. What we eat, the food. Let that become Ahuti Vidhi. Let it be the offering to you in the Homa or the Yajna. Pranamah Samveshaha. Samveshaha means just stretching the body and making it flat, go flat on the floor. Let that be my pranama, danda namaskara. Sukham akhilam atmarpana drusha. All the happiness which I experience in this physical world, let them be offered as though I am offering it to my own self, atmarpana. Like that, I am offering it to you. Saparya paryayah. And all the pujas or whatever I am doing, let every performance of mine with this body and the mind become part of your worship. Tava bhavatu yanme vilasitam. So, the summary is, my blabbering or murmuring, just the words which I am speaking, let it become your japa. All the hand gestures which I am doing knowingly or unknowingly in my life throughout, let them all become the mudras of worship. And all my walking, gatihi, my movement, become the pradakshina to you. And whatever food I take in, let that be the ahuti or the offering to you. And whenever I am sleeping, whenever I am laying down flat, let that become danda pranama or danda namaskara. And all the happiness which I experience, that I am offering as though I am offering it to my own self. When it comes to offering to my own self, don't you think I do my best and take in only the good things by making Devi as my Atma? She's very much there within me as my Atma. So I offer all the sukha, what I am experiencing, to you, Devi, who is sitting as Atma, not to the false I, which is there in the mind and which is drawing me towards the pleasures of the body. I transcend the physical pleasures, mental pleasures, emotional pleasures as an offering to you. Drusha. Drusha means just like, similarly. Just like to make myself happy all the time, every action of mine, every thought of mine is taking care of the happiness of the self. If anything hurts me, I will never do that. Have you seen? We will never go after pain. We will never go after dukkha, sorrow. We never go after anger. We want happiness, 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 and we don't want to disturb the peace and the happiness which I'm experiencing. Like that, Drisha, like that, in the same way, whatever happiness I'm experiencing, I offer it to you. So, what do we understand by this? The first thing we have to see is he has not used in all other mantras, he has used or addressed Devi by saying, O Sati, or Himagiri Sute, Saundarya Lahari, like that. He has said a word addressing her. But in this, there is no addressing at all. So it can be used for any deity, whether it is female or male, it can be used. And it can be used to Saguna Brahma as well as Nirguna Brahma. For Nirakara Brahma also it can be used. For Saguna Brahma also it can be used. Not only that, both Dvaita Bhava and Advaita Bhava, in both the ways one can approach this mantra, take the benefit of this mantra as a Dvaitin, also as an Advaitin. Not only that, it is like Triveni Sangama of Jnana, Bhakti and Karma margas, all the three together. How? Once we understand and look at Devi, by doing all the worship, I mean, whatever I'm doing in life, like I said, blabbering, wherever I'm walking around, whatever hand gestures I'm using, sleeping, and whatever I'm eating in the sense, it is not just the material food which we take through the mouth. The food for all the five senses, the food for mind, the food for intellect, whatever I take in, that is ahuti to you, because I have made Devi as my own self. This is the abode of Devi. The self is the abode of Devi. So she's very much here. So whatever I'm doing, if it is offered to her, it becomes karma marga. So I will be doing the worship of Devi through karma marga all the 24 hours by 365 days and until the last breath. And bhakti marga. Once my devotion, love for Devi is so much, she's always in my mind, in my heart and in my thoughts, that I will be controlling or I will be moderating every action so that it can be offered to her as my offering. That is when we have so much of love for her and devotion for her. Each and every action will be done in such a way that it is worthy of offering to her, because I love her so much. I want to give her the best. So that becomes bhakti marga. And jnana marga. When it is Shakti and Shiva who have pervaded everything, it is also understood that they have entered me also. The mind which is working, the mind which is telling me to do things, the heart which is going for her, the body which is doing its job, everything is done by her, done for her, done through her, done because of her, done in her, and it is her action. Once I have this jnana, my approach will become totally ulta. Because I am understanding I am not there at all. It is just Shakti and her game. So, whatever I think japa is nothing but blabbering. I think I am doing the japa. But when I know that it is Devi who is actually doing it, I am doing the japa. I is nothing but blabbering. Not only that, a Brahmajnani, when he has realized what that Brahman, Parabrahman is, he knows it can, Shakti can never be, Shiva can never be described or worshipped with words. Only thing is we have to do the anubhava, experience. So whatever I am doing the stotras, everything will become incomplete, and it is not saying meaning that Brahman. So it becomes incomplete and it looks like blabbering when Brahmajnani thinks. When Ajnani thinks, oh Devi, I don't know anything about you. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Please take my blabbering itself as japa for you. See how one can see it. Japo, jalpaha. Jalpaha, japo. So how it varies from Brahmajnani to Ajnani. But both of them can take the benefit from this shloka. Japo jalpa shilpam sakalamapi mudra virachana. And Gathe pradakshinya kramana. Pradakshinya. Why do we do pradakshine? That is also the nature of Atma. What does Atma do? Somewhere in my subconsciousness, I know I am Atma. I have experienced it. I am experiencing it. So, pervading everything, encompassing everything, embracing everything is the nature of Atma. Because I'm stuck in this physical body and in this mind, when I go to a temple, I feel like doing the pradakshine of Devi or the deity. Trying to take in the deity totally into me. I want to encompass, embrace. So, while doing the pradakshina, what we are doing is taking in deity fully into my own self, encompassing physically, mentally, emotionally, deep into the core of our heart. Pradakshina. So, if we understand Gati, even our simple walk, Devi is not just in the temple, she is everywhere, she is the whole manifestation. So, when I am going from one point A to B, and then when I come back to A, it can be to anywhere. I have covered so much of place on earth. So that is a pradakshina to her, who is in this form, whatever we come across in the middle. That should be our mindset. That is how we should see Devi. She's not just the Vigraham, but the whole manifestation. So if I go from here to another village and come back, every inch I have covered in the journey is pradakshine of the Devi in that form. So, Gadhi Pradakshinya Kramanam Ashanadhyahuti Vidhi. Ahuti, when Devi is that Atma, naturally, whatever I am perceiving, taking in, would become the Ahuti. Pranama Samvesha. How can we do that pranama? Pranama means Danda Namaskara. When we do, that means I totally surrender to you. The total surrender can happen only when we surrender the energy also. Only when you have energy in yourself, you can sit straight, face to the deity. But when you have surrendered yourself, and if you are still standing, that means you have not surrendered totally, because still you are retaining something else in you. I am standing in front of Devi. So I am retaining something, even though I bow down my head, it is not total Sharanagati. So when I bend down totally and go flat, the whole body is flat. And during sleep, the mind is also surrendered totally. Isn't it? There is no I sense when we are sleeping. The mind is totally into that Atma. So, like that, we had to zero down the mind, intellect when we are surrendering. That is possible only in that flat samvesha state of laying down, Danda Pranama. So, when we do the Danda Pranama, we have to knowingly observing what the mind is saying at that minute, stop it, totally surrender, silencing the energy in whichever way it wants to show up, that we should put it down. That is Pranama Samvesha. Sukham Akilam Atmarpanadrisha, I told you already. Saparya Paryayah Tava Bhavatu Yenme Vilasitam. So, whatever I am doing, being a human being, whether I am in Jagrut or Swapna or even Sushupti, whatever I am doing, performing, let everything be done as an offering to you. So, how is it possible to reach Devi if this is the way we are doing it? I will give you my own example. When there is flooding water around the multi-storied building and you are stuck in the second floor or first floor and the water is rising and the helicopter is coming and waiting for you to come up to the roof so that it can rescue you. But you are in the second floor and there are different ways of going up to the roof to get rescued. Even if you are stuck inside the topmost floor, it is of no use. You have to go to the roof only if you want to be rescued by the helicopter. So, reaching the top roof, there are different ways. If you are the Spider-Man, you can jump at once and go to the roof. That is one way of jumping up to the roof. Another one, if you know swimming really well, if you know how to handle water, whether it is tidal waves which is splashing around, if you know how to swim well, you can rise up along with the water and come to the roof level. That is second way. The third way, climbing up the stairs faster than the flood water rising up. That is third way. And the fourth way is when you are stuck in the third story, you can't go further because of the panic or your body ache or something. You have to just give a shout. Please help me. Someone can carry me. I want to reach the roof. Please help me out. You have to shout. Maybe there is someone who can help you and take you up all the way along with them. It's exactly the same in which way it happens with Devi. No doubt you have to reach the roof. That roof is the mindset where it is very clear and there is nothing obstacle between you and Devi, who is the helicopter. Once you are there on the roof in that mindset, the helicopter comes down. Devi comes down, she pulls you up and rescues you. How can you go up? Jumping like the Spider-Man, it is possible for great souls like Shankaracharya. The second one, swimming along with the rising floods, is possible for realized souls, avadhutas, because they know how the samsara sagara is. Because they know how to manage it, they live, and along with the water, they rise up. And happily they will say, roll off to the roof and say, yeah, I'm ready, Devi. You can take me. The third one, staircase. That is what we are all good at. Doing japa, tapa, vrata, or just showing the love for her, devotion for her. That will make us, give us strength to go up, climb up. Even if it is hard, we will climb up with love and devotion to Devi, which will make us do climbing up the staircase. And the fourth one, when we shout from the bottom of our heart, when we show that I'm really helpless, please, I need the help, when we shout, the Guru or the elder or Devi herself will send some way to carry us up to the roof. So one has to reach that roof, which is that mindset where the mind is clear, receptive, and there is nothing, no thought, anything come in the way of me and Devi. Then also she will just lift it up. So this is how this Japo Jalpa works. It just sweeps us from Dvaita Bhava to Advaita Bhava when we are taking the meaning of this japa, trying to intellectually understand what the depth of the words are. And if we practice it, certainly we can have the oneness with Devi, no doubt about it. And do you really want to know the mandala and phala of this? Are you all attentively listening? Mandala on the form of Devi, phala, Devi Darshana, and attainment of Atma Jnana. So now are you not attracted to do mandala on this? Devi Darshana, if you want to see her, have her presence in your life in Dvaita Bhava with lots of bhakti and love for her. Attainment of Atma Jnana for those who want to see her as Atma, that is Nirakara Murti. In both the ways, she is ready to bless us. Sudhamapyaswadya
सुधामप्यास्वाद्य
Pratibhaya Jara Mrityu Harini
प्रतिभयजरामृत्युहरिणीम्
Vipadyante Vishwe
विपद्यते विश्वे
Vidhishatamakadyadivishadaha
विधिशतमखाद्यादिविशदः
Karalam Yakshvelam
करालं यक्ष्वेलम्
Kabalitavata Kalakalana
कबलितवतः कालकलना
न शम्भोस्तन्मूलम्
न शम्भोस्तन्मूलम्
तव जननि ताटङ्कमहिमा
तव जननि ताटङ्कमहिमा
Sudhamapyaswadya. Even after consuming Sudha, Amrita, Pratibhaya Jara Mrityu Harini, that Amrita, Sudha, even though it takes away the fear of Pratibhaya, Jara, the old age, and Mrityu, the death. Vipadyante Vishwe Vidhishata Makhadya Divishadaha. Brahma, Shatamakha is Indra, one who did the Ashwamedha Yaga 100 times. All of them, Vipadyante, they all just get destroyed during Mahapralaya. Vipadyante Vishwe Vidhi Shatamakha Divishadaha. All those deities along with Indra, Brahma. Karalam Yakshvelam Kabalitavata Kalakalana. Even though Shiva consumed Kalahala, the poison during that Amrita Mathana, Na Shambhostan Moolam, he didn't perish. He very much lived. Why? How? Tava Janani Tatanka Mahima. It is because of the Tatanka Mahima. Tatanka means the earring which they used to wear in olden days, done with the palm leaf. They would take the palm leaf and roll it and put it inside the ear. So that would be the Sarva Mangala Mangalye Madri. That used to be the significance of a Sumangali. Because the Tatanka is done in such a way that it gives the time, the eternity. So when she is wearing it, Tatanka, when it is worn by Devi, it is the Mahima of that Ole. Ole means that palm. See how that we have left it, and slowly we have transformed our Ole into the diamonds and gold and whatnot. But we have retained the name Ole. Ole, Ole, we use it. So, what can we understand by this? During Pralaya, even though all these gods had consumed the Amrita, which would take away the fear of the old age or even the death, even they all perished. Opposite of that, Shiva had consumed the poison, but still he didn't perish because of his close association with Shakti. Because he is part and parcel of Shakti, he is there. So, what can we understand with this? Brahma, for creation, he is using his own Shakti, which is called Jnana and Saraswati. It is his own Shakti, which is Jnana, because he has to have Jnana as a Kavi and he has to create such perfect worlds. So that is one Jodi, one couple. Next, to maintain what is created, Vishnu, he used his own Shakti, which is called Lakshmi. So they became like the couple. And then Rudra, he used his Bala, his power, energy, to dismantle the whole universe. But Sadashiva is always there with Shakti as the eternal couple. Even during Mahapralaya, both of them are there as Sakshi for the whole process, what happens. If you see, any other combination would become weird. Suppose Brahma was given that eternal company of Shakti. If they had become one couple, there will be eternal overproduction of Srishti. It becomes erratic. Suppose Vishnu and Shakti go together as couple. That is also not possible because the preservation, the word itself is saying that it is someday it is going to be ended, but he is holding it on. He is protecting it. He is making its presence longer and longer. So, if Vishnu is with Shakti, that preservation, if that becomes the longer, then there is no meaning for Laya or the Srishti which has to take place in the next cycle. And Rudra and Shakti will also not be eternal couple because if everything is getting destroyed at once, there is no place for the other two. Whereas Sadashiva, which is nothing but pure consciousness, and Shakti, the pure energy, because they are eternally giving the support for all these other deities to carry on their work. The whole universe is going on relatively, eternally, relatively. And it's ready to take turns. For every 4 yugas, it takes one turn. Again, it starts new cycle. So that is possible because of the Tatanka Mahima, Shakti and Sadashiva being the couple. So, how does it work? I will tell you just one more story. When we say car, Ratha, car, Shakti sits as the driver and she will say, Sadashiva, you be the passenger next to me. throughout the ride. So they both of them will buckle themselves. Brahma, she makes that to start the engine, the key is that Brahma. Once the engine is started, it moves and Vishnu takes over by the steering wheel and the four wheels and the dashboard and all other equipments what we have in the car. It keeps running smoothly for a long time. And once the journey or the time is over, it comes back with the brake and it enters the garage. And switching off the engine is Rudra. And closing the door of the garage and concealing the whole car is Tirodhana. And Sadashiva and Shakti, both of them will get out of the car, and Sadashiva is having the key of the car in his pocket. Both of them enter the innermost chamber and go into Sadhakya Tattva. That is, they stay there in the slumber in seed form because they are nothing, because Devi has taken away the Jada Tattva and there lives only the pure Chetana, pure consciousness. So both of them are in the slumber, Sadhakya Tattva. Once it is time, Devi says, Sadashiva, it is time for the next round. Wake up. So he gives the key to the Brahma and the whole thing starts again. See how we are going through this cosmic cycle which happens. Even we are going through those experiences. Only thing is we are not connecting it and getting the joy of it. So Shankaracharya is opening our mind to see the presence of Shiva and Shakti in our life, in every action of ours, in every moment, in every place, in every situation. It is up to us to recognize it and enjoy their presence. Mandala for this is Devi as a bride. Phala, taming of wild nature, removal of all kinds of ailments, turning enemies into good friends. So all kinds of ailments include emotional, physical, intellectual, and also spiritual. Kiritam Vairincham
किरीटं वैरिञ्चम्
Pariharapurah Kaidabhabidah
परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः
Kathore Kothire Skalasi
कठोरे कोठीरे स्खलसि
Jahijam Bhari Makutam
जहि जम्भारिमकुटम्
Pranamre Shveteshu
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु
Prasabhamupayatasya Bhavanam
प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम्
Bhavasya
भवस्याभ्युत्थाने
Tava Parijanotirvijayate
तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
Kiritam Vairincham Pariharapurah Kaidabhabidah Kathore Kothire Skalasi Jahijam Bhari Makutam Pranamre Shveteshu प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनं भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते. So, this is the cautioning, giving the cautioning cry given by the associates of Devi about her movement. What is it? Kiritam Vairincham. With the Kiritam, Brahma is there. Parihara Pura, clearing of the place. Kaitabhabidah Kathore Kothire. Kaitabhabida is Vishnu. He is also there with Kathore, the strong, sturdy Kiritam, Kothira. Skalasi, you will tumble. Jahi, be careful. Jambhari Makutam, even Indra's crown is there. Pranamreshveteshu, because all of them are bowing down their heads in worship of you. So she is sitting on the throne. Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, they are all bowing down their heads along with the Kiritam to Devi. Prasabham upayatasya bhavanam. Prasabham, unannounced, all of a sudden. Upayatasya bhavanam, because Shiva came into her court or chamber. Bhavasyabhyuttane, by you getting up at once and running towards him. Tava parijanoktir vijayate, your associates are crying out, "O Devi, be cautious. Take caution not to tumble over Brahma with the Kiritam, Vishnu with the Kiritam, Indra with the Kiritam, and all others. We are all going down to you. So if you all of a sudden get up from your throne and start running towards Shiva, who has entered unannounced to your bhavana, there will be accident. Be careful. Don't run. Don't get up so fast." So the summary describes the young couple who are Shiva and Shakti. And Shakti is in her bhavana, enjoying the company of all these great deities. And she's sitting on the throne. And she was not expecting Shiva. But out of love, he is coming towards her. And with great love and happiness, she gets up at once. And when she's about to run and go towards him, all her associates, close friends, they're all telling, hey, be careful. Don't get up so fast and run, because there are deities, great devas who are all prostrating with such strong, sturdy crowns that you will tumble. Not only you will fall, you will make them also get hurt. So when it comes for Shakti in front of Shiva, nothing else matters. She just rushes to him. That is one thing. Secondly, because Shakti is the whole manifestation and all others are assisting her in maintaining the manifestation, each one is very, 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 very important. if anything happens to even a single deity, the loka will become vikala, with, what should I say, it becomes impaired. It won't be perfect loka. Everyone has to be perfect, hale and healthy. And even she cannot get, in tumbling, she cannot get wounded because she is the leader and she's the one who has pervaded the whole universe. So nowhere it should be hurt. So this is for the cosmos. When we take it to the individual in Kundalini Yoga, in a sadhaka is that whole manifestation. When Kundalini gets the taste of Shiva, there are chances that she will just rise up at once. Zoom, she would go up. By doing that, she will be hurting, damaging Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, Rudra Granthi, and all other deities who are all on the way. Because there are 33 crores of devatas in this single body. All of them are prostrating to Shakti because she is the leader, she is the mother, Shri Mata, Maharagni. So when they are all depending on her, how can she just zoom up, creating havoc to all other deities? So it is a caution that Devi, please, Kundalini, rise up slowly, giving us the beautiful experience of every stage of your movement, all the way to Shiva in Sahasrara. Because the sadhaka will be going through so many different experiences. All those things will be lost if she just zooms up. Not only that, there can be damage. So it is a request to that Kundalini to give the sadhaka a good experience by going slowly, carefully, so that he can enjoy the onward journey of Kundalini also. Because sadhaka wants to have Kundalini in each chakra so that he can worship her and take her up gradually. So that is one thing. And secondly, Kundalini is not in our hands. If she decides, she can go zooming up. So sadhaka should be careful, and unexpectedly it can happen to him. So he should be cautious and know that Kundalini can do this also. She can rise up like that also. So it's caution in a very indirect, beautiful, poetic way in which Shankaracharya is telling us in this shloka. So mandala for this is Devi seated on throne regally amidst deities. Phala, acquisition of unlimited powers for delivery to be smooth and easy. That is for women. Taming wild animals, bringing wicked people to good path. So these are all the benefits for this shloka when you do it as mandala. So let's end the class with this. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. शिवशक्ति 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 ओम शिवशक्ति 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 ओम शिवशक्ति 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 ओम शिवशक्ति 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 ओम